Good morning, noon, evening or night, depending when you're watching this video. My name is iTzGodlyz and welcome back to World of Tanks and the NBTT'ay Replay series, where we continue featuring the best replays of the NBTT clan of every major patch. And today we are watching iTzGodlyz once again. This guy has been featured many times already on this series, but well, for very good reason, was he is going to show once again in the iTzGodlyz, the German tier 8 double barrel heavy tank on the map Tundra. And he immediately goes for the hill, trying to get into a position where he can utilize his rather strong hull down capabilities and rather interesting gun. Well, interesting, I mean, we know double-barreled guns already. We got the Soviet ones, and we even got the British one, but the German double-barreled have the same mechanic as the Soviet one, only with a slight twist. You see, the charge time of firing a double shot is the same as the intra-clip reload from one shot to another. So what that actually means is that it is rarely profitable to charge up a double shot. Instead, you just immediately fire once, and 1.5 seconds later, you fire your second shell in rapid succession. Almost the same time as it would take a double shot. But there are some occasions where you do want to fire your double shot, or even want to fire immediately, even though you haven't reloaded both of your shells, as iTzGodlyz correctly kills the AMX right there, even though he wasn't fully reloaded, showing the importance of kill securing right there. But yeah, there are certain situations where firing a double shot is indeed more useful than firing two shells one after another. And we will see this situation appear later on, as iTzGodlyz for now struggling against his counterpart. And you see why he chose this location hull down, as you saw how hard this tank is to deal with when in a hull down position, only having a very slight weak spot cupola on top, which well, can barely hit, as you saw. But what he does hit is the side of the turret when the swilling his attention was directed somewhere else. And of course, iTzGodlyz takes immediately advantage of that fact. So even though already quite a few enemy tanks are dealt with, he plays it conservatively and does not charge in. Because when he wants to go up the hill, he has the chance to get into a crossfire with that 122 TM still occupying that position, or allegedly occupying that position as far as we know. But there he is once again, and this time the cupola shot does hit, as the cupola of the 122 TM is just a bit bigger than the swilling he fought before. And with that tank out of the way, it is now safe to charge up the hill. And even here against the Patchet, he just fires shell one after another instead of immediately charging a double shot. But right here, he does. Even though his teammate in the XM does hit him as well, making the double shot unnecessary, he does this double shot right there for one particular reason. And that is exposure time. If he would been aiming and firing his first shot, he still would have 1.5 seconds to get the reload off. Now, in preparation to fire, he pre-charges a little bit off beforehand, even though it is just a slightly faster way to poke and shoot. It still does reduce your exposure time. Only a tiny bit, but that can matter in certain occasions. It's a good practice to use right here. And now he has his next target in mind, the SU 130 PM. And if you have listened carefully, you notice that he switched towards HE rounds and tried to get a double shot off against the SU. Now the SU has more hit points than a double shot of AP, but HE, it is enough. Both utilizing the correct ammo type and once again firing a double shell. Exactly this situation you want to fire your doubles in this tank. Textbook example, reducing your exposure time as much as possible. And against another tank destroyer who just fired. Just a bit of unfortunate luck right there, as he really didn't see that one coming. Quite weird, he didn't spot that SU before, but nevertheless. Right there, he was in the open already exposed, already fired at, so it is better to fire one shot after the other. Even though you might think with the dispersion after firing, you still have good enough gun handling to consistently hit those shots one after the other. And with that, the enemy team is pretty much cleared. It's only one ELC and the artillery left. However, the ELC proves a little bit pesky, as he wanted to use a double shot right there, but didn't do it because the ELC decided not to continue to hide behind solid cover. If he was trying to go further forwards, itzGodlyz correctly once again tries to get a double shot off before he is gone, just getting some extra damage, well, one-shotting the guy. Because right now he bounced his one shot and of course low rolls the other, so the ELC can escape. But luckily artillery pays attention and does get rid of the thing. And now it is just simply artillery hunting with enough time on the clock to potentially go for the cap as well. But no problems here, as the artillery gets spotted. itzGodlyz of course finishes him off with another double, making this his 8th kill actually. So a tremendously textbook example of playing the E65 Zwilling. Getting him an ace tanker, a Redley Walters for 8 kills alongside with the high caliber Top Gun automatically, and also a steel wall for bouncing quite a few shots. Of course, with a substantial 5400 damage, 8 kills, you get over 1800 base experience. And just with a couple of gold rounds fired, he still managed to get a decent amount of profit with some premium account. So to be honest, I normally would mark a lot of timestamps in which I have some commentary to give upon the battle. Unique and interesting moments. However, with this particular replay, I only got one, the excellent double HE shell into the SU, creating the best circumstances to get rid of that tank without getting fired back, because if the SU would have been given time enough to fire back, itzGodlyz would have been killed by the subsequential shot of the SU-152. So great decision right there, but pretty much the only thing that I really marked as an exceptional decision. For the rest, it was pretty much textbook gameplay. Masterful marksmanship that was displayed once again by itzGodlyz, who right now got his 7th appearance in this series, being now equally amounted to the other main guest of the NBTT'ay Replay, Toby Tobas, of course. So I wonder which of the two will have the most accumulated NBTT'ay Replay features of the end of 26. It shows we are probably getting a lot of other replays with a lot more learning moments that we can use. For now, that is it for this video. Hope you enjoyed it, hope you learned from it once again, and I will see you next time. Laters.